In my mind, cultural appropriation is taking elements or aspects of a individual or a group or a community's culture and using those elements as a part of another culture, but using those elements in a destructive way. I think it is offensive depending on how it is being used. So, for example, if we take larger social political movements that have happened over time, and there are people who have known to march for something, have lobbied for something, and then another group decide that they're going to take those things and use them in those ways, then to me that's okay. What I think it's offensive, and I'm not sure if offensive is necessarily the word that I would use, what I think is actually unfortunate is more the term I would use, is when serious elements or aspects of one's culture is appropriated by another and is used purely for economic benefit.
I would think it would be very inappropriate for a Caucasian person to paint themselves like black with black paint, because I feel like they're mocking another culture, and I think that's very inappropriate and racist. So I think cultural appropriation just goes back into not mocking other cultures and giving other cultures respect.
I have seen Halloween parties and students dressed as Mexicans, housekeepers, MLK, and when they are challenged, when they're challenged, it's, well, I didn't mean anything wrong. I didn't mean anything badly. I have a Mexican friend or I have a black friend. Well, what you are doing is making fun of an aspect of this other group's culture that is really important to them, one, and two, that could also be a stereotype that that culture is trying to overcome for centuries.
I think there can be a solution. It's going to take a long, long, long time for a solution, because even in 2015, we still have to worry about stereotypes and appropriation. We have a long way coming, but I think a solution can be is if we get cultured more on each other's cultures.
My solution is always education. It's helping people understand, because oftentimes when we have this conversation, it is always, I didn't mean it in that way. I didn't mean to offend anyone. Well, if you understood the history of what you're doing and how offensive it is to the group, then maybe people would refrain from doing some of these things. So I am a huge advocate for education, education and open dialogue, and both sides have to be willing to listen.
I know, being African American woman, I appreciate my blackness every day, and I want other cultures and other people to respect that and realize that it's, especially being African American, it's, we've gone a long way to get to where we are now, and we deserve like all the respect, because we for a very long time we weren't respected for the color of our skin.